This film is based on a true story. In the middle of the night, Warren Jeffs receives a phone call that immediately puts him on edge. Warren loads his gun and looks out the window. Then he tells Katie Christensen, one of his wives, to pack up. He also instructs his legal wife Janine to wake up Isaac and have him pull the car around in 3 minutes. Before leaving, Warren tells his senior wife to trust in the Lord. Isaac and Warren flee in the car, knowing that the FBI is hunting them. Colorado City, population 5,000. 4 years earlier, Warren is the son of 92-year-old Rulon Jeffs, prophet of the Church of the Latter-day Saints, and the heir to his father's traditions. However, tensions run high between them, as Rulon has no respect for his son and often humiliates him in front of others. Warren teaches at the local school, instructing girls in virtue and reverence for men. After class, he asks 14-year-old Alyssa Wall, one of the students, to stay behind. Alyssa admits that things aren't going well in the new household. She and her mother don't feel like part of the family. The community lives closely knit, following strict Mormon laws. Rulon asks his son to speak with him privately. Outsiders hate them, seeing them as fanatics. Rulon reveals he had a prophetic dream and believes the end is near. Warren doesn't believe in Judgment Day, but he doesn't dare argue with his father, who instructs him to gather everyone in the field on June 12. Time passes, it's already past midnight and Judgment Day never comes. Rulon simply drives off, and Warren delivers a speech to the congregation. At first no one shows interest, but when Warren claims that God has given them a second chance, the followers listen. That night, Warren and his wife Janine receive a phone call, and he rushes to his dying father. Rulon begs Warren to fulfill his final request, to ordain Noah Fielding as an apostle. Warren is hurt that his father didn't choose him as successor. Later, Warren joins a session of the Holy Council, with the main topic being the assignment of duties and appointment of a successor. Warren begins to protest that the council is determining the fate of the community without input from the prophet, who now lies dying. Alyssa wants to speak with the prophet. Warren regretfully informs her that the prophet is seriously ill, but Warren himself might be able to help. At that moment he notices a bruise on Alyssa's arm. The girl confesses it was her stepcousin, Alan Steed, who did it. Soon Rulon's funeral takes place, attended by the entire community. Warren sees this as an opportunity to finally free himself from his authoritarian father's shadow. A man watches the funeral procession from a distance, and the council members notice him, wondering who he is. Another spy perhaps? Warren delivers the eulogy and lies, claiming that his father appointed him as the new prophet. His speech is met with loud applause, which inspires him even more. However, the council members are clearly displeased with Warren's self-appointment. He arrives at the Fieldings' house. A little girl answers the door, saying her father took one of the moms to the dentist. Feeling like a god on earth, Warren walks inside and begins blacking out Noah's face with a marker on every photo. Soon Noah Fielding returns with his wives. Warren declares that Noah is no longer welcome in the community and has 48 hours to leave. Warren has long dreamed of claiming Alyssa for himself and spies on her. When he sees her in the barn with a young man named Lamont Barlow, he is filled with rage. When Alyssa comes home, she finds her mother, Sharon Wall, and Warren, who announces that it's time for her to get married. After Warren leaves, the girl breaks down crying and locks herself in the bathroom, begging her mother not to let it happen. Sharon tries to convince her daughter that it's for the best, but that no longer matters, because the head of the household does not tolerate disobedience. Alyssa is taken to the car, where Warren is waiting. She is forcibly married to her detested cousin, Alan Steed. Warren officiates the union himself, telling the girl that there is no other path for a woman. At home, Warren tells his wife that he needs her now more than ever. He wants Janine to guide the young women of the community who are to become the prophet's wives. Janine cannot disobey her husband, and the next day she instructs the girls Warren has selected. When a girl named Rebecca breaks down in tears and says this goes against her faith, since she was the wife of Warren's father, Janine slaps her. Their duty is not to question but to obey, as any godly woman should. Now Warren possesses the power he has always dreamed of. He welcomes the new wives into the house and bestows upon Rebecca the honor of the wedding night with him. But Rebecca refuses, saying she honors her union with Rulon. Warren orders Isaac to lock her in a room, saying only God decides who a woman belongs to. The next day, Warren finds Lamont in the barn and grabs him by the collar, forcing him into the car. On the way, Warren lectures the confused young man about loyalty and the punishment that awaits distorted priorities. Then Warren drops Lamont off in the middle of the desert, stating that he's no longer welcome in the community. Warren once again notices the suspicious man who seems to be spying on the community. Everyone in the community looks at Detective Gary Engels with suspicion, as they do with all outsiders. After finishing his coffee and greeting local Sheriff Bill Brady on his way out, Engels returns to his motel room and immediately draws his gun. Someone has clearly been there. Exerting total control over his wives, Warren enters Rebecca's room at night and says that Rulon didn't die, he lives on in him. Warren invites Rebecca to pray with him, but she firmly asks him to leave. Meanwhile, Detective Engels leaves the motel. Janine demands that Rebecca stop resisting, but she refuses to betray her marriage to Rulon. Suddenly Janine offers Rebecca a chance to escape while Warren is asleep. Janine silently leads the girl to the back door, but Isaac blocks their path. Janine suggests he go to the kitchen and have some coffee. Seizing the moment, Rebecca escapes with the few belongings she has. Unable to sleep, Warren notices her absence and flies into a rage, convinced one of the wives let Rebecca go. Warren drives through the town in search of her, while she keeps running with everything she's got. The next morning, Alan complains to the prophet that his wife Elissa is not fulfilling her marital duties. Warren states that a woman has no right to make decisions and advises Alan to use force. Alan does just that. Detective Gary Engels tells his colleague, Kim Nuttall, that someone broke into his motel room during the night, but nothing was stolen. Right now Engels is most concerned about the new prophet, far more authoritarian and unstable than the previous one. Engels receives an urgent call and arrives at the police station. Rebecca had nowhere else to go, and she left her younger sister Elissa behind in Colorado City. Rebecca doesn't care about the consequences for herself. She is ready to cooperate with the FBI, as long as it means destroying the polygamists who do whatever they please under the guise of holiness. Soon Detective Engels gives a televised interview, accusing the head of the Church of the Latter-day Saints, Warren Jeffs, of terrible crimes. Later, Warren addresses the congregation, declaring that the sinful world is trying to destroy them. From now on, new laws will apply in the community, allegedly dictated to Warren by the Lord. First, the color red will be banned, as will any form of sports. All media except radio is also to be banned from the community. Warren also claims that dogs, descendants of wolves, are servants of the devil, and Colorado City will no longer tolerate them within its borders. Soon after, Warren takes another wife. Somehow, Engels manages to enter Colorado City and has the court summons delivered to Warren. Warren is accused of inappropriate conduct with minors, and under U.S. law, he is required to appear in court. During his next sermon, Warren calls out several men's names, demanding they stand up. These men are exiled from the community, to be separated from their wives, and their children reassigned to more loyal families. Warren believes these men have leaked information to the police and accuses them of betrayal. While cleaning the house, Elissa suddenly experiences unbearable abdominal pain. She loses the baby. The prophet visits her, urging her not to despair. Elissa must believe in the ideals of the community without question, in order to atone for the sins of her runaway sister, Rebecca. Later, when Elissa feels a little better, she walks into a body of water in her dress. Her lips tremble from crying. The council informs Warren that a real investigation has begun and that Rebecca is cooperating with the police. Detective Engels is gathering evidence about the brides. Warren declares that they will leave this place and settle on new lands. That way, the state police won't reach them. At night, Elissa steals Alan's car keys and escapes, successfully leaving Colorado City. Her first action is to find Detective Engels and Rebecca. Engels tells the sisters that, thanks to their court testimony, other girls will finally have hope. In the middle of the night, Warren receives a call from the local sheriff, warning him about an imminent raid. As police units head toward Colorado City, Warren flees with Katie and Isaac, leaving all his wives behind. Officers immediately raid Warren's house and present Janine with a warrant for Warren's arrest. The hunt for the most notorious polygamist in the United States makes headlines across the country. Meanwhile, Warren and Katie keep moving from place to place. The investigation continues, and all of Warren's followers are being questioned. He had carefully prepared for the escape, carrying several burner phones and large amounts of cash. But it's clear he can't hide forever. Warren has been added to the list of the most wanted criminals, with a $100,000 reward for information leading to his capture. Later, Isaac informs Warren that the police have found a witness against him, Elissa Wall. If the girl speaks in court, everything is over. The fugitives continue driving. Katie asks Warren if he's afraid of being arrested. Warren replies that God won't allow it. The FBI continues the manhunt under Engels' direction. There's a report that Warren was last seen in Texas. Engels immediately contacts the state police. The fugitives stop at a gas station. While shopping, Katie sees Warren's and Isaac's faces on a wanted poster. She discreetly tears it down and passes it to Warren. That night, police stop the fugitives on the highway. The officer immediately senses something is wrong and calls for backup, ordering Isaac to step out of the vehicle. Katie whispers to Warren, asking what they should do. He replies, "Don't lose heart." The police search the car and find large amounts of cash in the trunk, along with other incriminating items. Warren realizes there's no point in denying anything and gives his real name. Warren is arrested and held in jail until trial. He is interrogated by Engels. Warren declares that he is God's messenger on earth and that he only wanted to protect his followers from the evils of the world. The day of the trial arrives, and the building is surrounded by the press. Despite her fear, Elissa finds the strength to testify against Warren. Janine is also present in court. The jury finds Warren guilty. As he is led back to his cell, other inmates shout that there are no wives here, and that now he's the wife. Engels' colleagues congratulate him on the success, but the investigation isn't over. Many more arrests are expected. Now in prison, Warren is no prophet, let alone a god. He is nothing. Isaac visits Warren in prison. Warren says he is not a prophet but a liar, and that the truth does not lie within him. Hearing this, Isaac cannot hold back tears. It turns out that everything he and the others believed in was a lie. Warren repeats that he is not a prophet and never was. In his prison cell, Warren prepares to voluntarily pass away, while Isaac shares Warren's final words with the others. Janine claims that evil people simply want to take their prophet from them and urges the remaining followers to pray for Warren. Another inmate yells to the guards that the prophet has decided to leave them, and Warren is saved just in time. He is now sentenced to life in prison. Isaac visits Warren again, convinced that this was a test, and that they passed it. Warren has nothing to say. When detectives come to the Jeffs' home, Janine furiously drives them away. Many still believe in the prophet. Gathering his thoughts, Warren tells Isaac that they have passed the first test, and that one day he will return to his flock. Then a voiceover states that Warren Jeffs is serving a life sentence. 10,000 members of the Church of the Latter-day Saints still revere Warren Jeffs as their prophet.